Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Mental Funny Bone Becoming the Gaster Girls. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chris, and here we are again. And we didn't ruin the intro for,
When you
I
say
think
we, you meant me.
I meant
Me and you.
I didn't ruin the intro by starting us off using a swear word or just forgetting that I had kicked the show off and then ruining it. So I'm
Well
opening
done.
up our planner so I can look at our plan for 4 episodes ago.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. I have email.
Oh, just to remind everybody, we have no expertise in
Oh, yeah, yeah.
psychology or mental health or
Nope.
brains. I, in fact,
Oh,
was
you have expertise in brains.
I
Oh, no,
have a
you're
brain.
talking about.
I
Okay,
have a brain.
okay.
Um, I have a degree in statistics, which doesn't
hmm
qualify me to tell you how to take care of your life in any way, shape, or
No,
form.
no. I have a degree in business. Yeah. Nope. No expertise. We know nothing.
And yet here we are
And
doing
you're still
what,
listening. Not sure what it says about you.
guys, come on. If you're here for the comedy, I approve.
Got it.
All right, so here's the thing about today. I realized that I can only sit in my office chair for a consecutive 5 hours before one of my old aching joints starts to really
Mm.
hurt.
Yeah, yeah. I can do just a couple hours myself.
Yeah, so today it's my knee, and I'll show you that knee on camera right there.
Oh, there it is. Look at that
Yeah,
little tiny knee.
yeah, she's a bit sore.
Sad.
One thing that I want to mention, maybe when we do maybe do catch up, I talked to my therapist about my eating disorder and I have updates there. And I got feedback at work about my eating disorder.
Why don't we go ahead and get into things then so we can get to that?
Okay, shall we talk about fan mail? Because that's our first order of business.
Do it.
My friend from high school, Sarah B, Sarah K now, because she went ahead and got married right after high school. Crazy.
Strange.
So Sarah and I sat next to each other in science class. And because it's been so long since I've talked to her or been in that science class. I can't remember if it was 8th grade or 10th grade. It was definitely not freshman year, but it might have been freshman year. It might have been freshman biology where
We were taught. So, were you cutting up frogs in this class?
I can't remember if we were cutting up frogs cuz I wasn't it was an easy class and I wasn't paying a lot of attention. But I want to think that this was freshman biology where the smart kids got to get on a bus in the junior high, or we got to go to the high school and have freshman biology at the high school. And then we took a bus back to the junior high after. Pretty sure.
I thought I had biology in like 8th grade.
They had like life science. We had life sciences. They didn't call it
Oh,
biology. Anyway, I'm sure
really?
somebody that we had Mrs. Adams, her daughter was in my friend group. And I remember she was the teacher. And I also remember that I didn't have to pay very much attention in the class. I think mostly because Sarah did our labs. And so shout out to her for doing the labs. I'm gonna look at her email just real quick and make sure
And
that I get everything right.
shout out even more to her just for listening and sending an email.
Right. If you guys want us to talk about you and how we know you, this is a good way. Our friend Sarah she's expressing a little bit of anxiety because she's flying for the first time since 2019. And I gotta say, wow.
I'm assuming that she's probably flying home by now. What
Yeah,
day
she
did she
might be
send
home.
this?
She's gonna be there for 4 days and she sent this on
Oh,
Monday.
okay. Okay. So she's
No,
still
she's
hanging
still
out.
there. She's
Okay.
still there.
All
She's
right.
at a fancy place with a bunch of fancy executives doing fancy executive job stuff.
Get some
And
Xanax for the ride home.
that's my advice. And small
Mhm.
talk, I recommend finding 2 or 3 funny, relatable stories and just telling them on repeat. One of my go-tos when I first started traveling was to in showing up where I had to like make small talk and conversation was to tell people my funny story about the differences between UK English and American English. So I'll tell you guys that story just to entertain. So, Sarah, something like this. So, I was in the UK for a big business meeting, big sales thing we were doing, and I was talking about how I was going to dress up for this important meeting and I was going to wear a skirt and not pants. So I said this multiple times. I'm wearing a skirt and not pants to many people, and they kept calling more people into the room for me to say that I was going to wear a skirt and not pants. And then they finally revealed the big joke, which was that pants in the UK are underwear.
Oh, so you're gonna wear a skirt and no underwears? Yes.
Right. So that was pants, like I was talking about, are apparently called trousers.
Trousers.
And then I can't think of anything once you say
Hmm.
trousers other than trouser snakes. So it's just what
What?
comes to
Why
mind.
would you think of trouser snakes?
It's just what comes to
Is
mind
that
when
even
someone
a
says
snake? What?
trouser.
Really?
Yeah,
I think of like old men
trousers.
wearing their trousers.
Right. You got your hands in your pocket. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think having a funny anecdote that generally comes up while you're traveling about traveling is probably a good one. I'm also fond of telling the story where our dad's friend Freddie gets locked out of his hotel room while nude. That's a good one.
You should also share the one where he farted in the elevator. No?
Also good. I don't share that one mostly because I can't remember it while I'm traveling.
Such a good one.
But there you go. So, Sarah, that is my advice, just to have a couple pocket stories so that when things go quiet and you're like, so do you like trains, or that you have
It's,
something to fill your time? Do you like weather?
I like clouds.
Bunnies are cute, right? I'll also
Squirrel.
go with that. I also find that asking a question like, what books are you reading? Very helpful. Takes the focus off you, lets them yammer away. You don't even have to pay attention to the answer because then you just follow up with another question.
Question, question.
So there you go. That's how I do it. Sarah says that our podcast hits home on many different levels because we're super funny and she grew up the same place we grew up. I
Mhm.
will say that Sarah was also the person I would rent videos off of at the Giant Eagle Paydays. Paydays, the
The
one
paydays. Hmm.
that used to be like a bowling alley or an ice skating rink. Like it had giant tall ceilings, if I remember
Hmm.
correctly.
Giant.
This is the place where our mom would take us grocery shopping before we were allowed to stay home by ourselves. So I have
It's the
many a
best.
memory.
Do you remember the grocery cart that flipped up? Was there a time where we put the grocery cart at the end of the thing and just opened the thing and just do you know what I speak of?
Like the front of the cart was like a little gate. This,
Like, but even yeah, so I just thought of two different things because I remember like the whole cart thing flipped up. Maybe I'm
I
making that up. But I also remember like the end of it, you would lift it up and pull it down. Like you would just put it at the end of the like there wasn't a belt.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I speak of? I feel like I need to Google historical shopping carts.
So
Classic shopping carts.
I wish you guys could see the YouTube video because now I'm just gonna stare at the camera and be like, so in case anyone is curious, attention deficit disorder has a symptom where you tunnel down into ridiculous things like historical grocery carts.
Found it. I don't have ADD. Wait, I found it. I found
Right,
it.
because this is what happens.
80s fold up shopping cart.
This
Hmm.
is, I'm not even going to Google it because this is not what we're here for today.
That's fine. I'm going to take a picture and send it to you.
And
Continue.
because Sarah grew up the same place that we did, she's also friends with Jackie and Ed. So I think if nothing else, this podcast has helped me reconnect with people I knew in high school. If we get nothing
Yay.
else out of it, it's just that I can go back to Elizabeth Forward now and be like, hey, did we know each other when I was in high school? Because I bet we did.
You can be in one of the gangs now.
Yeah, I could do that easily. Probably not going to, but I could. So,
I'd be in
Sarah,
Ed's gang.
you were in a gang.
I was not in a gang. No gangs.
I beg to differ because I think we got an email from Heather Schaefer, Heather Kyle, used to be Heather Kyle, and she filled us in on the tic-tacking details. And
Did she?
yeah, she
Where
refers
I
to
didn't get the email.
it's on Messenger, Facebook
Ah, okay.
Messenger.
Okay.
Because we told her to any way you can get us that info.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Do
don't
it.
lash out. Don't lash out.
I'm not
Um,
I'm just saying I didn't see it.
she says that the Blaine Hill gang did this every night in October.
Every night?
every night.
Did she explain how you get the corn off the cob?
I'm gonna just
Okay.
open up the Facebooks and see what her message says because I saw it come through and I was super excited. The Blaine Hill Gang did this nightly in October. She doesn't tell us the mechanics. She's simply bragging that she knows them. Heather
It's in Blaine
will give
Hill Kids. That's what it is. I could
right
tell. I could tell just in that one time
right
I met her. I knew it. I knew she was a TikToker.
in a gang. In a gang. So there you go. Sarah,
TikTok.
thank you so much for reaching out. And Sarah does say that she really likes what we're doing and trying to normalize the fact that everyone at some point feels like their brain doesn't work like normal. And I think the more I understand brains and therapy and all of this, that I'm really going to be hard pressed to find somebody who's normal. The people that I think are normal, every time we talk about something, I'm like, oh, yeah, you aren't normal either.
Nope. No.
Oh, and not necessarily fan mail related, but we are putting out a new episode of Bare Bones Banter on Friday. That you guys can look forward to that if I get my shit together today. So, still a bit debatable.
I was going to say, did you send that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, got you both covered on the mechanics of TikToking. You
See?
know, the Blaine. Ah, okay. I
That's
see
the
it now.
that's it. So Sarah, thank you. We really appreciate the fan mail and that's why we talk about every email that we get for 15 minutes.
Yep.
We like to hear
Mm-hmm,
from you
mm-hmm.
guys. It makes me happy. I'm trying to think of other feedback or places that the podcast came up this week. And I got nothing. It was a pretty crazy weekend for me. I was in San Diego.
I don't have anything.
No more fan mail because then we'll just move on to the weekly catch up corner.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Not like the Heinz ketchup, the regular ketchup.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened last week because it feels like 800 years ago.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How
Much so.
was your week? Did you do the playoff soccer game? Because I know last week we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about playoff soccer games. How was that?
We lost
Oh,
3-2, but we really lost 3-1 because one of our goals was scored by the other team. Like
in
it was a really rough one too. It wasn't like it just bounced off of him at a wrong angle. He was passing it back. Yeah. And it was the first goal of the game.
oh,
And everybody was cheering and I was just standing there in shock and heartbreak. I was like, I can't even
you guys can't cheer.
I can't cheer. Oh my god. And then all I could think was we have to score 5 more goals to make sure that this kid doesn't think that this is his fault. Oh my god. And it turns out they played better than us anyway, and they scored 3 goals, so it's fine.
I mean, that's
We scored
usually
another goal. We played well. We played okay. Our last 2 games that we played really well, and had that team showed up, I think that we would have continued on. But yeah, it was an up and down season for us. So there we
yep.
are. Yeah. Tonight, as we speak, Moon is playing someone. Who are they playing? Hampton. They're playing Hampton. Excited to see the result of that. I wanted to go watch it, but that didn't work out. Just
Oh,
see the result. But I'm
s-
fine with that because parents are fucking crazy. And I was actually glad that our season, and I shouldn't say that's terrible, but I'm just done. I'm done with the parents. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
yeah,
Done.
yeah. Get it. I get it. I think David's hollering hello, but I'm not sure because I have my headphones on. So the good news is I'll be able to edit that out.
Okay, good, good, good.
So in San Diego, I ran into an old friend of mine from college. And we were talking about the podcast, and she was talking about how she went to, oh, now I forget which school she went to, but we played them in high school soccer. So she's probably a year younger than me, 2 years younger than me, makes her 2 years older than you. And she remembers the fact that we did not care much about the technical aspects of the game, but that we would kill you.
Mhm.
I think I remember the one girl wearing a leather jacket standing behind the bus smoking while in full uniform before
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
onto the field. I was like,
That's
yeah,
funny
she's
because
probably
Rick Z was at
26.
our game. Yeah, Rick Z was at our game, and I forget how we started talking about it, but I think that I mentioned how your team was like rugby players.
I prefer to think of them as misdirected youth.
That's also what they call rugby players.
Oh, also, not to belabor my reels fascination, but in a delightful turn of events, somehow every third or fourth reel is international rugby teams.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I
Wow.
very much appreciate international rugby. The
Yeah.
thighs, the
I was just gonna say
thighs.
that's a lot of quad. It's a lot of quad going on
Wow.
there.
Is the quad the front one or the back one?
The
Hamstring is the
front
back
one.
one.
Hammy's in the back. The quad is the front.
Right. Can never keep it straight.
It's a lot of it. A lot of it.
I don't care if it's the front or the back. These guys have muscles on the sides that I didn't even know
Hmm.
were things.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the connection point between the thigh, like where the hip flexors are, for some reason, this one guy had his shorts all hiked up, and I was like,
Like the groin.
no, not the inside part, like the outside part, like on the front
Gotcha.
of the,
Gotcha. Okay.
there's a muscle there. And I was like, who, I
Mm,
don't
wow.
think I've ever seen or dated anyone who had that muscle.
Interesting.
Yeah. It appears to be a sport full of
Excuse me.
just dynamic personalities. Everyone's got a porn mustache. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like that's everybody who's under the age of 30 these
That's
days.
how I tell the young ones. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I appreciate your porn mustache. You must be
Yeah.
24.
'Cause they have some ridiculous facial hair thing that's going on.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
I can tell people of our generation because they just have the one little tuft of hair below the bottom lip.
Oh, yeah?
Sometimes, do you remember Fred Durst? He was in a band. We
Limp
don't know
Bizkit.
him. That's the band. We didn't go to
Yeah.
high school with him.
Oh, yeah. Good old Freddie.
He was in Mrs. Masick's class.
Sheesh.
Oddly enough, good friends with Ravatory.
Now I have a Limp Bizkit song in my head.
Break shit, I believe is what it's called.
Mhm.
So
Break
yeah,
my fucking face
face
tonight.
tonight. Yeah, good tune, good tune.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my update about the rugby playing reels. And if you can get that in
Fantastic.
your algorithm, highly recommend. It's just a good way to learn the mechanics of the game and
The
have a greater
quadricept.
appreciation for what French rugby looks like. Très bien.
Awesome.
Um,
I like it.
in other news, I was at the zoo and I saw a polar bear paw,
Just the paw?
just the paw. He was sleeping on a rock. He was hidden
Okay.
behind a
But
rock.
he was attached to it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
No,
Oh,
the whole polar
okay.
bear was there, but all you could see
His
was the
big
paw.
paw. I bet it
Right.
looked like so much cuddly.
It looked like a rock. And he looked
Mm,
real. I don't know that they brush him or they like give him a
mm.
bath too often, but he looked like his whole looked like a rock. Like he just looked like
Oh,
dirty fur. Still
I
loved
don't
him.
like that. I don't like that for him.
In the Uber on the way to the zoo, David and I were talking to our Uber driver, and we got him to agree to help us kidnap an otter.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. The only problem with that plan is that I did not see any of the otters. They were all busy. They had apparently someone, I believe the Uber driver tipped them off.
Told them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tipped off the otters. The otters hid from me all day.
Bastards.
All day. I did see a panda though, so you don't see a panda every day.
Oh. Did you see monkey wieners?
No, the monkeys were exceedingly well behaved.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That's disappointing.
I know, right?
Normally they're just swinging around with their flapping around.
I will tell you that we couldn't stand in front of any of the monkey exhibits for very long because David said we got to move because they could throw their poop this far.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So luckily we didn't get hit with any monkey feces.
Yes, I love the word feces.
It's not one of my favorites. And I don't know if you can see on the back of my phone, but I did join San Diego's #1 Steelers club.
Oh, good. That's
Yep.
good.
Yeah, we watched the game at a Steeler bar.
Of
And
course.
if any of you guys have done that, the level of enthusiasm at a non Pittsburgh Steeler bar, like a Steeler bar that's not in Pittsburgh.
A remote Steeler bar.
There you go. Exactly. Wow, these guys brought the energy. They had a DJ and he was spinning like Donnie Iris. They played that
He
polka
was just
jam.
playing Renegade.
We had to beg him. We had to beg him to play Renegade.
Really? I
Yeah.
should have been there. Play Renegade.
And they had a special on a beer tower. So
Oh,
this was like 128 ounces of Bud Light.
it should be Iron City.
They can't get it. I talked to
Fail.
oddly enough, David befriended the leader of the club.
Bartender?
No, no, not the leader of drink serving, the
Okay.
leader of the San Diego Steeler Club. So he gave us free t-shirts. David's like, "Where did you grow up?" And he's like, Florida. And David's like,
That
"What?"
doesn't. Why?
He was like, "Oh, my relative grew up in Sharon, Pennsylvania." And I was like, "Still." They played that polka song. Do you know the
Yeah.
we are the Pittsburgh
Berg
Steelers.
Steelers. Yep.
And David and I were clapping because we had a couple of soda pops by then, and no one knew the words except us.
Oh, wow. I mean,
We did clapping, and
represent.
yeah, there was a nice mishmash of people. There was like a biker gang table. There
You and
was
your
a
fucking gangs.
I'm just calling it like I see it. There was a biker gang table. There was a table of young men who were dressed in overalls, plaid Steeler overalls, with no shirts on.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey style. Yeah.
Right. And
I would
that
have been hanging out with him.
they didn't want to hang out with us.
They
They
would
were
have wanted to hang
perfectly
out with me.
now they were perfectly self-contained in their little group. And they all had hats on it that said play renegade.
Yeah. They would have been my favorite. They would not have wanted me to hang out with him, and I would have been
No,
so pissed off about it. I would have been
right.
so mad
You'd be like,
because
guys,
that
it's
I could
me.
see me getting stuck. Yeah, I would have got stuck on them.
Delightful. There was also a group of young kids who had obviously spent the last 3 days drinking
Oh, that's a good one.
and kept
I'll
ordering
just have
shots.
I'll just have a plate of bacon.
Right. The bar had a special on pierogies. So you could order pierogies
Of course.
and a kibasi sandwich, which I didn't get
Oh, thank
because I had to
God.
go to I had to go to a work meeting the next day.
Yeah, that would have been bad news.
So that's my weekly catch up. I also then took a red eye, which I think is a great idea until I take the red eye.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't even. I haven't taken a red eye since I lived in Arizona. So what, 20 years? I'm not even. I don't. I have no clue how I would survive that right now. I
No.
wouldn't. I'd sleep for 2 days straight.
Then everything hurts. You don't I don't get home until noon because there's no direct flight. So it's not like the red eye sorry, it's not like the red eye ends
Ew.
up in Pittsburgh. It ends up in Charlotte. And then I'm
Ew.
walking around looking like a cast member from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's bad. No, if you're doing a red eye, you gotta go. It's got to be direct.
It's terrible, a horrible
Yeah.
idea. So I feel 2 days later, I'm caught up on my sleep.
Good.
Very successful weekend, very successful business shit happened. So we're gonna give that a thumbs up. I'm gonna
Good.
quit coughing here in a minute.
Okay. All right. Saturday we went to a Halloween party.
Oh,
I will. I'll send you a picture of Noah. The Halloween party was at his brother Danny's house. Danny's the youngest. So they're like, I wish I knew how old. I'm
30s?
not sure. Early, very early 30s. They're young. They're young. And Noah dressed like Jack Burton from Big Trouble Little China.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So can you guess how many people knew who he was?
Nobody. They were like
Right.
Big Trouble in Little China. What
I'm
is that a
like,
political
China?
movie? Is that
Right.
a
I don't.
documentary?
Yeah. I just sent you the picture of him. It's horrific. And he's going to listen to this, so he will hear it. It's,
Oh my God. Is that why he tried to FaceTime me on Saturday?
yeah, because he was drunk and he wanted to tell you how not fun I was when I was sober because it's Halloween around here. I'm assuming it's Halloween everywhere, but
You're just here.
they're doing some DUI checkpoints and whatnot. So I didn't want to drink. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So he
where
basically spent the whole time just walking around talking to people he didn't know who were much younger than him and trying to explain who he was. And then once he explained who he was, he would just spout off lines like all of a sudden because he told people who he was that they knew the lines from the movie.
could you imagine your dad going to a party in our teen years dressed
Yep.
I don't know. I can't even
Hmm.
think of a good movie from their
Yep.
generation
Yeah.
as James Dean from
Yeah.
Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah. So that was Saturday. Turns out I don't really like being sober at parties. I did. take a seat in the corner and just laugh at everyone. So that worked out well. Hung out with Aunt Kara.
So I get in the Lyft on the way home from our dinner on Saturday night, and I see that Noah has called and FaceTimed me. And for 3 seconds, I was like, obviously, my sister's dead. That's why
Yeah.
Noah's calling me. And then I was like, no, he would have called twice. He would have at least left a message.
Yeah. 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 I'm assuming that's why he was calling because he wanted to complain about how I wasn't being fun.
All right, fun Bobby.
Or throw like Jack Burton quotes at you. I don't
No,
know
I wouldn't have liked either
that
of
you wouldn't have
those.
known.
Would have been like, the movie was
I
on,
was I was
so
getting
I've seen
ready.
it.
I was getting ready and he came in and was like trying to talk like Jack Burton, good old Jack Burton says or something like that. And I was like, no,
Oh,
just stop. He said, that's mean. And I was like, I know. But you need to save it. You need to save it for all the kids at the party.
oh
So
my God,
yeah, that's what we did
what
Saturday.
were you dressed
That
as?
was after our game. That was after the loss. I was a scarecrow.
Oh, so
See
cute.
my scarecrow fingernails. I
You
have
have patchwork
patches.
fingernails. Oh,
Yeah, it was very cute. It was something I had in my closet, so it worked out. It worked out well. So we did that. Then yeah, Sunday Owen had deck hockey game. He had soccer practice. His buddy, Michael
yes,
S. That
yes.
yeah, he got in another fight and he's been suspended for 10 games. I think they have 10 games in a season, maybe. So he's suspended
Oh,
for this season and next season, which is a year from now. So I'm not really sure. But Noah said the kid that he beat the shit out of was being a dick. I guess he didn't beat the shit. He knocked his helmet off. So yeah, he got into a fight at the game before, 2 games before that, but that one, like, I was there, so I witnessed it, and the kid literally was like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And he was like, "Ha, I'll show you."
fuck around and find out, my friend.
And Michael, it does something with the weights because he's a strong dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
he
So
does. He knows what a quad is.
yeah. So there's that. And other than that, I'll go ahead and make everybody sad.
Ugh, okay.
Sorry. But if you live in the area, you heard about a gentleman who was stabbed and killed on the Montour Trail on Monday. And that gentleman lives down the street in the neighborhood from us. And he has left behind a wife and 2 girls. And the reason I really bring it up to our listeners is because we're going to share in the show notes some links. Christine, I sent them to you. There is a link for a GoFundMe page for his wife and the girls, and also a meal train, which I think the meal train we might have that all covered. But we're going to throw those up. If you have something to give, it would be nice to do that. Support Sarah and the girls, and mostly wanted to give a shout out to Ryan and Shauna, our listeners.
Oh, of fan
Uh,
mail fame.
yeah, fan mail fame, Ryan and Shauna. They are very close friends with this family, and it's been a horrific ordeal, just completely and totally senseless and tragic. So, just I don't know. Shauna and Ryan, I want to give a shout out to you guys because I want you guys to remember that you need to take care of yourselves too. And I love the fact that you're going to support Sarah and those girls to the end of the world and back. And I love that. I love that you guys are so awesome. And I want you to do that. But I also want you to remember that you guys need to take care of yourselves too. So love you guys, and shitty situation, but that's where we are.
You remember you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you
Right.
help anyone next to you.
Right. Yeah.
All right, what else you got for weekly catch up corner?
That's it.
I also am going to throw this out there that it's Halloween, and I am going to watch every episode of the Halloween Baking Championship this
Oh,
weekend
yes. Oh, I watched the last 2.
while Olivia and I are together in Raleigh. Olivia is playing 2 games, so she plays Saturday and then she plays on Wednesday. So I'm going to go down for both of those games, and that should
Nice.
round out the William Peace Pacers season.
Amen.
Yeah, big shout out to the Pacers for the 4-1 win last night. Way to go.
Nice.
Way to go. Roommate Mia scored a goal, so
Oh,
she's
good.
back. She's back
She's
from the
back.
injury. She's on
Good. I like it.
fire. All right, so let's get into the growing up gaster story of the week.
What are we going with?
I thought you had something that wasn't necessarily us related, something to do with
It's
Jared
the
and
Liebhart. It's a Liebhart story. It's the removal of the
yes.
gallbladder. Do you
Ah,
want me to share that one?
I love it. Yes, please.
All right.
We're going to throw it in because we're eventually going to run out of gasters. There's only so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
stuff that's happened to us.
Yeah, this is just a Liebhart story. So ran into some friends of ours this weekend, Jared and Michelle, and Jared had recently had emergency gallbladder surgery, and we were chatting about that. He's recovering, he's doing well. Yay, Jared. Take this as a test to see if he listens. Pretty sure he doesn't. But Jared, if you do, gastergirls@gmail.com. Give us a shout out. Let us know you're listening. Pretty
Prove
sure you
it.
don't even know we have a podcast. Michelle's the one who told me to put the story in it. So she knows we at least have a podcast. Anyway, so Noah had his gallbladder removed approximately 9 years ago. I think Owen was in first grade. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Noah doesn't have a gallbladder. But we go in, and Owen was in elementary school, and Noah's in surgery for a bit longer than I had expected, like a lot longer. And nobody's telling me anything. I have to leave the area to go call mommy and daddy to see if they can pick up Owen because we should have been home by now. And then Noah's boss called me, and I was like, they're not telling me anything. He's not out yet. I don't know what's going on. I think he's dead. Blah blah blah. He's dead. They come out and they call me into the room where they tell you that your loved one has died. That's where they called me
What?
into. Yeah, they call me into that little room. And the doctor walks in, and I'm like, what's going on? It's okay. He's fine. I was like, okay, as long as he's alive, okay, that's cool. Yeah, just it was a little bit rough. It took us a little bit longer than we had expected. So I have a couple prescriptions here for you to take home for Noah. They're very
Oh
important.
no.
You need to follow
Wait,
them word for word.
wait. So you're in the room where they tell you your relative has,
Yeah, I'm in the death
like,
room,
and, but he's
but he's
okay.
alive. He's okay, but
Right.
we
He's
have
alive.
very specific. Yeah, I'm still having a heart
There's
attack because I think he's dead.
instructions
Yeah,
and
but it was
he's
rough.
maimed. He's
Yeah,
paralyzed. Like something bad is still going on.
it was bad. I'm still gonna we're gonna have a lot of rehab to do. I don't know. Which saying that and then knowing the end of the story is really funny. But anyway, so he hands over the prescription and I'm like, I'll do whatever. I'll do that's fine. I'll do whatever. It's fine. He hands over the prescription and I read it and it's Noah is to receive daily blowjobs. That's what it says on the
That's the
prescription pad. That's the prescription. Daily. Yep.
daily
Generic accepted.
generic accepted,
Oh, yeah. Refills. Endless.
unlimited.
Yep.
So,
The doctor handed me this prescription. I went, fuck you.
like, when
I looked at him and said, fuck you. I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. And then I took a breath and laughed. And I was like, fucking funny though, man.
right.
Probably the funniest thing my husband's ever done.
So, did they concoct this prescription
Yes.
before?
Prior. Yeah. This is
What
Noah 100%.
did he say? Hey, I would just like to take a really long nap. So if you could just keep her out there, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, they didn't concoct that. It really was a longer surgery. Like that whole thing was legit.
Oh,
Like
I was like,
it did take a
wow,
lot longer. No, that would have
that
been
is
way too much. No.
elaborate.
No, they just concocted the prescription. The surgery was a little bit rough and it took a little bit longer than expected. He had a really bad gallbladder and it didn't want to come out. It really liked it in there. It's
I'm
going
comfy.
nice and warm in here. Yeah,
I'm good,
no, it was
thanks.
just the prescription. It was yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. I
Excellent.
was like, wow, that's and when I started laughing, it was like played. Now it's probably the funniest thing that he's ever done. That's actually hysterical. The doctor was like, "Oh, thank God! When you first said fuck you, I thought you were really mad." I was like, "I was, but now I'm fine. This shit's fucking hysterical and will be framed."
Right. Do you still have it? Is it framed?
No, I'm sure Noah does. I have no clue where it is.
No,
We're gonna put it in a shadow box.
just in case he needs it.
Yeah, you could take it somewhere else. Well, go ahead. See, go find somebody that'll fill that shit.
Generic. My God.
Yeah,
Mr.
so
17 could
that's
probably take it to Waynesburg University's campus and see what would happen.
I bet they have a place that'll fill it there for sure.
They have sororities at Waynesburg? I don't know.
Not a clue. Not a clue. So
Either
there
way.
you go.
Oh,
That's the Lee Part story of the week.
that is an amazing story. Here's what you do, Doc. I could just picture the conversation at the beginning.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you feel about doing this?
Mhm.
And the doctor's
Yeah.
medical license.
He was like, I think
Who
that's
needs it?
fantastic.
Who needs it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some mental health stuff. So, I'll give you the update on me talking to the therapist about my eating disorder. And
Yeah.
I will let you know that I am 10 pounds heavier than when I showed up at that lunch or dinner with Jackie and Ed, and you told me I look like a skeleton.
Yes. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I look much more reasonable.
Yes.
These, I still have these bones here, but they're supposed to be there. They're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Their
like them.
bones, they hold the rest of everything
Hmm.
together. Emily and I were talking about how I would have lost weight before taking the drugs. And I told her I would have really knuckled down and counted the calories. I would have kept a very obsessive food diary for about 4 days. And if I was really serious, I would have done it for maybe 2 or 3 weeks and I would have lost 3 pounds.
I was just, that's the exact number I was going to go with.
Right. I would have spent 2 or 3 weeks
Hmm.
investing hours of time.
Yes. Hmm.
I would have weighed myself probably not just once a day, but two or
No.
three times a day.
Every time you went to the bathroom.
Right. I'd have been like, come on. I would have been angry and tired and felt like shit
Yep.
for that 3 weeks. And then I would have just given up and cried and
And
eaten.
went to McDonald's and got a
Right.
penguin power pack and ate it all yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Just saying what I might have done.
Having done that 10, 20 times throughout my
Yeah.
life, yes, this is exactly what would have happened. And it
Hmm.
got so much worse the older I got because I really could not
Yeah.
do anything to move the scale other than
Yeah.
not fucking eating. And
Yeah.
so she and I talked a little bit about how unhealthy that is to be the kind of person who has to obsessively write down every single thing that you're taking into your body, and how hard it is when you travel to tell a restaurant, hey, could you give me a 3 ounce piece of chicken breast? Don't let it touch any oil back there. And also, if you could just fill the plate with whatever vegetable you're preparing with nothing but the vegetable. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do it. We talked about how unhealthy that would have been to try to do it. And we talked about how now that I was at a nice goal weight, that it isn't a competition and it isn't a sport, and you're not better at dieting if you weigh less and less. It
Yeah.
isn't You're not showing your competitiveness or your success by continuing to lose weight beyond the point at which you are healthy.
Right.
So we talked about maybe I just don't need to weigh myself every day.
God,
Maybe
I'd never weigh myself.
every day. I get on the scale. I'm trying not to do it as much because I don't really need to. Like, I have a lot of clothes that fit. I have a lot of things that look nice on me. I don't have to worry and stress out about walking around the zoo.
Hmm.
And
Sometimes it's just, I just want to know how much my poop weighs. So I'll weigh myself before I take a poop and then after I take a poop.
no, you don't, do you?
Maybe.
You're such a weirdo.
Yeah.
I think that, and what I told her is the same thing that I told you guys the last time, that just thinking about it and talking about the potential for having a bad relationship with food probably means that I'm not going to have a bad relationship with food.
Right.
There's nothing
You're
normal.
acknowledging it.
Normal people get to eat McDonald's every once in a while.
Hmm.
Normal people get to have ice cream, and normal people don't beat themselves up because they had McDonald's or ice cream.
I could go for some McDonald's chicken nuggies.
Oh, so good. Like 20 of them and a giant
Hmm.
basket of fries.
Basket of fries,
See,
baby.
this is the unhealthy part where I can't just have a chicken nugget and a couple of fries. I'm like, I
I
want
mean, I
20.
can now.
I can, but I'm
I'd
not going
order 20,
to
eat
eat.
5 of them.
We got, I ordered pizza for dinner tonight because it was a busy day. I ordered a large pizza for me and David and cheese
Yeah.
sticks and a salad.
Hmm.
I was like, we should have some vegetables. I'm going to order a salad. What? What? When it showed up, David's, are we getting company?
Who is this for?
We're leaving Friday to go to Raleigh. If you want to rob our house, we're going to be in Raleigh
Yeah, I might show
all
up.
weekend. All
Feed the
right,
cats
so
while you're there.
that is that. Yeah, if you guys could check on the cats and just send me a picture of them, that'd be great. I need to know they're okay. Do break in. So I got some feedback from someone that I had worked with like a year ago and
Mhm.
hadn't seen until we got on a call today. And she was like, "Holy shit, where did you
There's a
go?"
little bit less of you.
It's a fourth grader.
Yeah.
So I am going. I'm going to stop telling people that I cheated because I definitely didn't cheat.
You
And
didn't cheat.
I am going to encourage people to talk to your doctor about ways that you can participate in weight loss programs that are good and healthy and thinking about all of the tools as ways to lose weight and not this one is cheating or that one is cheating. So
Right.
I think we can put a little bow on that box and kind of put it over there with the
Actually, I think
recycling
we're
because
gonna
it's all
dump it out
empty.
and put it over the
It's
empty
empty.
place. Yeah.
So that box
Save it for the next thing.
is all dealt with. I feel really good about it. So there you are.
Good.
That is also my scary revelation about me doing shit in therapy. I also went into my therapy session last week thinking I wouldn't have anything to talk about.
It's always how it goes. Always how it goes.
She's that's our hour. I was like, "What?
Excuse me? No.
Don't you talk to me like that?"
No.
No. So there you go. What do you got? Mental health stuff or is it just 10% happier now?
No. I've been meditating.
How's it going?
Uh
It's
huh.
hard, huh? Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's really fucking hard. It's we've said that. We've said that. We're going to continue to say it. I will say it over and over again. It's really stupid hard. Really stupid hard. But I think I'm grasping it a little bit better now, so it's a little bit better. I'm actually doing a Peloton program. So 10 minutes a day. And I'm laying down. I'm not sitting, which I might be breaking a rule, but I've been told there's no rules.
There's no
Because sitting, I feel like is it just doesn't I'm supposed to be relaxed and calm, but then I'm trying to stand up straight and then stretch and breathe, and it just doesn't. Then I'm all worried that I'm sitting wrong. So if I just go like a jellyfish and lay down, I find that works best for me.
right. I don't think there are any rules.
There's definitely not. I am getting look how can I say it? Like I'm doing it for 10 minutes. I don't really feel like I'm getting 10 minutes of a solid meditation out of it. But I'm still trying to figure out what solid meditation is. But I can tell you when I open my eyes, it's going to sound real fucking weird. But for the last 2 days, it's happened. I've opened my eyes and been like, oh, wow. I don't even know how to explain the wow, but
Yeah,
it's just like I open my eyes and it's a whole body feeling. And it's a whole body feeling and there's a nice breath that goes with it. And I don't open my eyes and go, oh God, I have to go back to fucking hell of life. Like it's yeah, I don't know how to explain it. And nothing earth shattering or anything like that, but it's a feeling. It's a feeling and it's a calm, very awesome feeling thus far.
I
So
love it.
the past 2 days, I've had that eye opening, coming back to reality in a much calmer state. So I'm doing something. My favorite line that I read from Dan Harris this week is about meditation. And the point is not to achieve some sort of perfection, it's to show up and do the practice. And over time, interesting things might happen.
Yes. I think that's what we talked about pretty extensively last week. Last
Yeah,
bleh,
last week.
last week. Last week,
So,
right?
yeah.
You
Hmm.
just have to put in same thing with exercising, right? You don't nobody comes along and says, "Hey, good job, your blood pressure is a lot lower." Nobody comes along and says, "Oh my god, look at the size of your bicep right now. Look
Yeah.
how."
It's not magic.
No, it's not any different than it was at the beginning of the workout, but you did the workout in the hopes that continuing to be consistent about doing the workout will yield you the results that you want. I think meditation's
Right.
the same thing. Like you're not
Yeah.
going to you're not going to and I think you're going to have different varying degrees of success depending on the day. Like today I sat down
Yeah.
for 140 seconds and that's what I can
There
do.
you go. Yeah, there's 140 seconds. That's
I was
great.
like, "No, this isn't happening
Mhm.
today."
I haven't done it yet today, so I'll be meditating right before I go to bed, which I feel like is a good idea.
Yeah. I think,
But
oh,
we're
it
it's
may
like
be on.
there's different types of meditation. So I've done
Yeah.
breathing and
To do body scan? I like the body scan.
body scan is what I did yesterday. Tonight will be, I think, visualizations, I think.
Ooh, I visualize the shit out of things before my meeting on Monday. Like,
Yeah, I like the visualizations. I just like the fact that I have finally learned that it's not about emptying your brain of everything. It's about taking the thoughts that you have, processing them, checking in with your body and how your body reacts to those thoughts, and then going on to the next one.
right.
What I envision.
Here is the thought that popped in to my brain while I was meditating, maybe yesterday. So I can hear the cat fountain while I'm meditating, and it's like calm, relaxing water fountain noise.
Yeah.
And what I started thinking about was maybe we should build a waterfall for the kitties.
Mm,
Like in the living room, what's the Frank Lloyd Wright property
falling
in the
water.
falling water? Right, falling water style. Like we just
Yeah.
have a waterfall for the kitties. And then I noodled on that for about a minute of my meditation before I was
Yeah.
like, hey,
I think it's a good idea, and you can use that for your own meditating too, is to sit behind the waterfall because that's
like,
something that Dan Harris talks about, is being behind the waterfall, like you're
right.
behind your thoughts.
I was like, all right, that's a good one. We'll write that down in things I thought
Yeah,
about while meditating. I know this doesn't belong in mental health, but maybe it does. My she shed is
yeah.
getting delivered tomorrow.
I'm super excited. So where's this she shed going?
It is going halfway where the shed is that looks down on the swimming
Hmm.
pool. It's going next to that. So I have a nice view of the vista farms and fall and
Daddy will
spring
be so excited that there's a
foliage.
view of a vista. That's
Right,
what you have. He'll be so
right.
proud of you.
It's got a little porch so I can sit on the
Hmm.
porch and watch the vista. It's got like a little gravel driveway, not for cars or anything, but
Yeah.
eventually for the golf cart, I'm going to have to go from one door to the other door.
Oh, I love it.
And I have to get a new cat carrier because the cats are going to have to come up and work in the she shed with me.
So the she shed is going to become your actual office.
Yeah, actually, my
Okay.
house. I mean, it's 12 feet by 24 feet, and I
Nice.
need about
That's a nice
3
size.
feet from my office. So it's also going to be my yoga studio
Yeah.
and my
I
meditation
love it.
space.
Is it Amish built?
I don't know because we lucked into this she shed purchase in that David has been looking on Facebook Marketplace. Men in their
Ah,
50s
no.
are
Yep.
likely to do hiking up the cargo shorts,
There
sliding
you
into
go.
those white New Balance tennis shoes,
Yep.
looking in Facebook Marketplace for things for his wife. And this shed is already put together. It's already insulated. It's already got the right kind of windows. So essentially, we
Yeah.
just have to pay a dude to move it from where it is to our place. So I got twice the she shed I wanted for half the price. And I
That's
don't know
nice.
how David does that shit all the time. He has so much patience when it comes to looking at things on Facebook Market. Like
Okay.
not with people, but he maybe it's not patience, maybe it's more of a focus. Like he
Yeah.
will just focus
Yeah.
on exactly what needs to happen until he finds one selling what he wants for cheap. I
Yeah.
will tell you that I had to answer the question, hey, do you think this is a scam, 814 times?
Mm, I
Yes.
love that. I love
My
that.
answer is always yes.
Yeah.
Hey, do you
Hmm.
think this is a scam?
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, this guy friended me and then posted a picture of Olivia. I'm like, unfriend him, block him, and report him, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, she shed, and I think that fits into mental health because that'll be it's
Your meditation shed.
my own little space. It's gonna
Yeah.
have a little pellet stove fireplace in there.
Oh, I like that.
You're welcome to come up and hang out with my fluffy pink and gold pillows
I
in
can't
my
wait.
meditation space.
I cannot wait.
It's gonna be amazing. We'll have sleepover parties.
It's going to be bigger than your apartment behind mommy and daddy's.
It is. It's actually bigger than my first apartment.
Yeah. Mhm.
The one I
That's
had in
fantastic.
not my first one, the one I had in Scottsdale,
Yeah.
on that like the butt of the camel.
Yeah.
That apartment, yeah.
The
It's
camel
definitely bigger
ass.
than that camel ass apartment. I think that was the name of the complex.
Camel ass. It should have been. What road do you
Camel
live on? Camel ass.
camel ass estates. I'm in building F. All right. Dan Harris and 10% happier. What are we on?
Happier.
happier. Oh, I'm from the Midwest now.
I did not. I only got into chapter 6. I didn't get all the way through even chapter 6. But this is where he's talking about going to the retreat.
Oh, this was my favorite chapter. This was my
Yeah.
favorite chapter because I was like, how?
No. So what I propose that you actually read it again and we talk about it next week. Okay.
I think that sounds like a plan. I will be podcasting from the road again next week. So
Okay. Perfect. And I think we're at like an hour now.
end up with a little mini boner this week.
That's what I said anyway. It was going to be a little mini boner. It's been a week. It's been a week.
Happy Halloween because we won't do one of these podcasts before Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Actually, next Thursday is Halloween, so we should be releasing
Oh,
the episode after this
oh,
on
never mind then.
Halloween.
Fuck
So,
you. Um,
so fuck your Halloween. We'll get to that when we get to it.
I think for next week's story, I would like to talk about how we would take the children trick or treating around your neighborhood.
Oh yeah, yeah, the teats.
The teats. That's exactly what
That
I was
was at the
thinking of.
second neighborhood.
Olivia and those teats.
That was a good one. I like that. Yes, yes. We will talk. We'll have Halloween stories.
Yes, I love it.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Let's wrap it up for today.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. I can't find the button. There